Welcome to episode 1392 of the Multifamily Collective. Tonight I want to talk about starting. So I started this year training for a marathon. And so starting is something that is front and center to me these days because I'm using Nike Run Club app to train for the marathon. And one of the things that the coach or several coaches, I think I've listened to 3 or 4 coaches now, but each day when I go out on a run, whether it be a long distance run or it be interval run or a recovery run, they start with literally you press the button and you start running. And one of the first phrases or sentences out of each one of the coach's mouth is "you started." And then they go on this sort of narrative of that being a win, that being an accomplishment, that being a victory, that being something of a predicate for an eventual outcome, meaning the middle of the race, 3/4 of the way through the race, or the end of the race, the outcome you get to achieve because you started. Right? I think that same thing, that same philosophy, theory, whatever you want to call it, action, reality, applies to business as well. I think many times we get caught up in the broadness or the scope or the magnitude of a project, and we paralyze ourselves or we don't take action because things look too daunting. They're too big. Don't know where to start. We can't even process the project, the size of the project, and break it down into manageable chunks because we're so caught up in the emotion of the idea of the thing facing us, the mountain, the giant mountain, or the dragon that you need to slay. Is just too big. It's too much to accomplish. And I take us back to right the beginning of this podcast, this little 3-minute rant on starting. In my marathon training, I thought in the beginning I was like 26 miles. I ran a half marathon when I was nearly half the age I am now, and it did okay. Comparatively speaking, I didn't really train for that run, but I was young and potentially dumb, might include that word, but I ran the whole thing and never stopped. But I was youthful. Now I'm over the age of 50 and I'm thinking 26 miles, what in the world and why? So, but anyway, the bigger point here is that I saw that as a daunting task, a daunting goal for 2023, but I just started. I was already a runner. I'm going to call it a jogger. I exercise by running or jogging. And I thought, I do this, right? I already do this. And to add on multiple miles over multiple months or weeks is not that big a deal. Certainly it's going to hurt being this age and having abused my body along the way, playing basketball and doing other things, physical activities. But I want to do this. I want to accomplish it. So I just started. I had the app already. There was a training on there. I reached out to a friend in the industry, and she was absolutely wonderful and provided me an entire training program, or at least some resources to go to for training, and provided a little bit of her experience. She's run multiple marathons now. I really applaud her every time she gets out there. I just am very much inspired by her running efforts, both working up to the marathons that she has run and the ones that she has actually accomplished. I think she's run every one of them all the way to the end. And I just get inspired by it. But she was very gracious in providing me a lot of feedback as it relates to training up for a marathon. So that was awesome. And I just started the program and running every day. And here I am 4 or 5 weeks in. I actually have already run another half marathon, not as part of that training, but as part of a trail running thing that I'm doing as well. But anyway, the bigger point, I'm starting to get off on a tangent, but my bigger point is if you are facing something daunting this year, this month, this day, this next day, just go. Just do something. Look at that thing and pick one thing that you can do today and press go and act. Do something else tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, and you'll build up and accomplish something pretty darn cool. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.